Things have really changed since the last time that you may have sold or bought a home. The market is totally different now. I promise you, with the tips I'm going to give you, you can save tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars by following these simple principles and ideas when you decide to sell your home or when you decide to move. I'm going to share with you in this video ideas, tips, and advice that has been working for seniors because the market is different, not only from my experience by talking to a lot of other people and realtors and having so much experience in the market. A lot of seniors we talk to, and when they are considering selling, they have a lot of questions, they have a lot of concerns, they have a lot of anxiety, they even have a lot of stress, even with just the thought of selling and moving out of the area. So stick with me. Let me give you a quick example of Sandra, who was a senior when we sold the house. She needed a lot of hand-holding, a lot of care, and a lot of directions when it came to selling a home. In fact, coincidentally, I just got a text from her. She had moved to Northern California and is moving back. And here's the text I just received. One of my past clients, Tony Mays, went through a lot of hassle when she sold a home a few years back. She tried to sell it, could not sell. It took her a year to sell. Finally, when I listed the home, I helped her out, explaining the process, the things she needs to do to update the home, to stage the home, to price it right, to market it right, and it's finally sold. Here's what she said.
Hello, my name is Tony Mays, and we have had our house on the market with Mike Patel, and he sold it in a very short time. To give you a little history, we decided to sell our house and put it on the market with another agent, and it sat there. It not only was for sale, but it wasn't even being shown. When we decided to put it back on the market, we interviewed several real estate agents, and Mike is the one that we chose out of 5 different agents. Okay, when we chose him, he gave us suggestions as to how we should sell our house and at what price range. We followed his directions, and sure enough, the house sold in a very short period of time. We have been very pleased with the process, and I would recommend him to anybody.
As you may know, there are a lot of boomers out there, and a lot of the boomers are moving. They're moving to other states, they're moving to their family, they're moving to their smaller homes. And from experience, I've realized that the boomers or the seniors who want to sell the home want 3 things. So before I give you some of the tips of what to do or how to sell the homes, I want to let you know what the boomers or the seniors want from selling the home. The first thing they want is that they want the highest price from selling the home. A lot of the boomers have fixed income or no income, so every penny counts when selling a home. So they want the most money from selling the home. The second thing they want is they want the shortest period of time to sell. Selling a house is stressful, and they don't want to drag on selling the homes over and over again. Like I mentioned to you, Tony Mays had to pick 3 agents different times to finally sell the home. So the boomers want to sell the home in the shortest period of time of which the market allows. It could take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, not counting the preparation for it. And the third thing they want is that they want the least hassle in selling their house. They want to sell fast, they want to make the most money, but they want to de-stress, they want the process easier. They need hand-holding, they need guidance, and that's what they want. And I hope you want that too, to make the most out of selling your home. The first thing I'm going to talk about that you have to keep in mind when you sell a home is that what is your emotional attachment to this house and how does it affect of pricing the house right. This is a big factor because selling a house is very emotional, and many of the boomers, me included, I've been here for 25 years, over 30 years. My kids grew up here. They played with the neighbors. They went to the school. We get emotionally attached to the neighborhood, to the neighbors, to the environment, to the backyard, to the fruit trees, to the things in my house or in our house that we bought, that we painted by ourselves, or the upgrade that we did ourselves. So we have so many memories and emotions in this house. So when it comes time to selling and letting it go, it becomes very difficult. And as it becomes difficult, a lot of the sellers, from our experience, we find that they stick to the price and say, you know what, my kids grew up here, this and this happened, so I want a certain price. You have to price it right and don't let the emotions get in the way. And also, talking about the price, you might have bought a house way back, and when you bought the house at that time, the marketing of a home was different. I remember the good old days when you want to sell a home for, let's say, $400,000, you probably listed it for $450,000 knowing that buyers lowball the offers and you negotiate the home and come up with a price. These days, it doesn't work that way. The buyers are very smart. They have all the information. So when a house comes on the market, they want to make sure the house is priced right, marketed right, and it shows well that reflects the price, and they want to buy it right away. They want to buy it within 20, 30 days. Just like you as a seller, you want to sell that home within 10, 15, 20, 30 days or 60 days, depending on the market. So pricing it right has a lot to do with your emotions. So before you even put your home on the market, start thinking about your move, start thinking about the pricing, start thinking about what you're going to have to let go, and also start thinking about where you want to go. Are you going to a better place, to a better community? Are you going near your kids or your siblings or your childhood place where you grew up? So getting through this is an emotional process. It affects the price. So let's talk about the next tip. The next tip is thinking about selling your home. And then, should you do updates or not? Should you remodel or should you sell as is? So this is a big task, a big decision, especially when you want the price that you want. Because as I mentioned to earlier, you want every penny that you can earn from this house by selling. So should you update the house? Should you remodel the house? Should you just fix up the house? Or should you sell as is? There's always buyers for as is homes. You will get a lesser price. But if you're thinking about selling, and let's say you want to sell next year, and if you are able to do little things in the house, maybe start with paint. If you have green color walls or yellow color walls or shaggy carpets or old flooring, you may want to start painting the house slowly in neutral colors. Every area has different colors. So check out your area, see what the trends are when homes sell, and maybe you want to paint the home, neutralize it, make them all the same colors. It'll add a lot of value. One of the easiest thing and the cheapest thing you can do when it comes to selling a home is give it a good paint of coat. It'll go a long way. Same thing with the flooring. If you have old shaggy carpet or dated hardwood floors or dated flooring, either you change it or polish it or make some updates. So little things like these will add a lot of value, because buyers want ready to go homes today, and they will pay you the price that you ask if it's ready and updated. But if you're in a situation where you cannot no longer do the work on your own because you have back issues like I do, or you can bend down, or you can lift heavy things, and you are unable to do the work, you may have to hire somebody, and that gets very expensive. So either have the most important things or the urgent things or the necessary things to be done with hired help, and you have to pay the price for it, but you will get the return on your investment when you sell. So it's important to understand and know what needs to be done and what does not need to be done. At the end of the day, if you are unable to do any of that work, if you don't want to do any work, if you have health issues or timing issues, then sell the house as is. You are not spending any money up front, so there's no extra cost to you. So over the years, you've gained in the house. You hopefully paid off a lot of equity. Your house probably by now have doubled, tripled, quadrupled. So even if you sell as is, and even if you get a lesser price than your neighbor did, what you have to think about is, hey, you bought this house for $100,000. Now it's worth $400,000. Or you probably bought the house like I did. It was worth $250,000 when I bought my house almost 30 years ago. Now it has almost triple or quadruple. So if I sell my home cheaper than my neighbor, it's okay because I sold for this much and I'm getting this much. So at the end of the day, it is still very profitable. So keeping that in mind, the pricing and the emotions that you have will go a long way and make you extra thousands of dollars and with less hassle. The third thing I want to talk about is the cost and preparing the home for sale. I already mentioned some of these tips in my previous quote item that I talked about. So you have to be careful about how much you want to spend up front and how much your return will be. And do you need more time to prepare for the sale, to prepare for the move? Are you going to need 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years to move? So take that into consideration. It'll make your life of moving and selling a lot easier. Preparation, patience, it goes a long way. The next thing that you need to be very aware of is that you have to price your home right. Market is picking up, market is going up. So the good news is if you are thinking about selling now or in the next few months or the next year or so, hopefully the prices are keep going up. So you are okay with the price. But what happens if the market is going down or is slowing down? So regardless of the market situation, it is very important that you price the house right. Today's buyers are smart. When we sold our home way back, we did not have a lot of information, the kind of information that is available right now. I can go on Zillow or Redfin or any website today and find out what your house is worth today. They will compare your house to 4 or 5 other different websites. They will find out how much you actually paid for the house, how much the house that sold few blocks down the road, how much that sold for. So they have all the information today. Buyers are very smart. Buyers are very savvy, especially the young buyers. They're very savvy buyers. A lot of the buyers are in their 30s and 40s. As we sell our homes, the older generation sells our home. The younger generations are buying these homes, these late 20s, late 30s, late 40s. Even the 50-year-olds are buying because they're moving to the second or third home. So pricing it right is very key. The better pricing you make, the easier it is to sell your home, and you won't be sitting there months after months after months not selling the home. So you have to price it right. There is a lot of data out there, not only for you as a seller, where you can check with your own information how much your house is worth, how much you're going to get out of selling the home. But very important that you price it right, because if you price it at the market, your house should sell in this market within 30 to 45 days, and it takes another 30 to 45 days to sell. So the selling process should be 2 to 3 months after you put your home in the market. And assuming it took you 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year to prepare the home, updating it or cleaning it up or getting the trim work done or getting the yard work cleaned up, all that. So not only the timing is important and the preparation is important, pricing it right is the key. Selling a home is always about the price. If a house does not sell, and I've been doing this for 25 years or more, and a lot of homes, in fact, 40% of the homes, anywhere from 20 to 40% of the homes on the market don't sell, depending on where your market is. Even in this market, the number one reason a house does not sell is because of the price. It's not the marketing, it's not the location, it's not the condition, but it's the price. So pricing your house right at the time of your sale and in the condition of the house is in your neighborhood compared to other homes will make a big difference. So price it accordingly. To remind you again, when you price it, keep your emotions in check, because it does get in the way, and it will get in the way. The next tip is a very important tip, and it has nothing to do with selling your home. It has to do with what are you going to do after you sell your home. And the challenge is securing financing for your home. So before you even put your home on the market, before you even start thinking about moving, you probably will already know where you want to move to. Near your kids, near your grandkids, near your siblings, near your old schoolmates, etc. But how are you going to get the financing for the house if you are not paying cash? If you are going to get a loan, are you going to be able to qualify? A lot of the seniors that may have stopped working, they may not show income. They may just have income from their Social Security or other income, but it may be low. Because let's face it, a house that cost $100,000 30 years ago is costing $300,000 to $400,000 today. So in California, I've sold a lot of homes for seniors, but an average home in California is $900,000. So when they sell their home, and hopefully if they live there 10, 20, 30 years, they have a very small mortgage payment or the homes are paid off. So they can sell their home, take their equity. Let's say they have an equity of $700,000 after they sell their $900,000 home. They can go to Texas or Florida or Nevada or Montana and buy a house for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 and still have a lot of savings that they can put and enjoy the rest of their life. But a lot of states where the home average price is $250,000 or $300,000, when they sell their home, they may get all the money out. But let's face it today, you can't buy a house for $300,000 today, starting fresh. Because if you bought your house 10, 15, 20 years ago, it's a much bigger house with a yard and it may be worth $300,000 today because it has gone up. But if you're selling a house to move to a newer area near your kids or a better area, that house is going to cost you. So are you prepared for your loan or your mortgage? How are you going to get that financing? So before you even put your home on the market, you have to be prepared to talk to your children, talk to your kids, talk to your accountant, talk to a lender, and talk to other realtors to figure out where can you move, how much you can afford, and where you move based on the price of the home that you can afford. Are you going to like it there or not? You may want to go visit those places, the state or city, and say, if I sell my $400,000 house and buy something for $300,000, or you might have to buy a $500,000 house because you want a secure area or gated area for security, or you want a certain house near a hospital because of medical issues, then you have to be prepared to pay the extra money after paying all the equity that you got. Getting a financial information is key to your move should you be buying a house. One of the best things you can do even before you start thinking about selling your home, and maybe you're a year away or 2 years away or 6 months away, is talk to a realtor. There's a lot of realtors out there. They do this all day long. They talk to young buyers, young sellers. They talk to sellers who are seniors and boomers. So they know what sellers go through. They know the process. They know the market. They know the trend in your local neighborhood. So I highly recommend that even if you're just thinking about selling a home, talk to the realtors. They'll give you the information on, hey, your house, based on your condition or based on what you're going to do, your house will sell for X amount of dollars and it's going to cost you a certain amount of dollars. How much are the commissions going to be on average? And as you know, there's new rules on commissions now. I won't get into that, but typically the sellers pay the seller's agent commissions and the buyer's agent commission anywhere from 4% to 5% to 6%. Commissions are negotiable, but those rules have changed now. Sellers can no longer advertise how much they're going to pay to the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent and the buyers have to ask the seller for the commission. So you have to agree to pay your listing agent how much you're going to pay up front. But you may want to keep in mind how much you will pay the buyer's agent, even though the buyers are supposed to pay the buyer's agent commission. And one of the reasons you may want to pay the buyer's agent, if the buyer's agent calls your listing agent and say, hey, is your seller paying any commission to me as a buyer's agent? If you say we're not paying, then he may not even show the house. So you have to know all these things as far as what's going on in the market. These are new things. This just happened August 2024. So talking to a realtor who is experienced, who understands the process of selling a home with seniors, it's totally different with seniors versus selling a home of a 30-year-old. That realtor has to hold your hands and guide you through the process. In fact, I have a whole database in the USA of all the top agents. I've been in this business a long time and I have a database. So if you are looking to talk to a realtor to get some ideas and information and how the process works or what your house is worth, the true value, direct message me or make a comment. And there's a link in the first comment of this video, and fill out the short form and I'll refer you to an agent who can help you, guide you, and be patient with you as you decide on what you are going to do, how you're going to do, where you're going to move. So I'll be glad to help you. Feel free to even email me and I'll be glad to talk to you and try to understand what you are trying to get. The other key thing, as I mentioned earlier, is that selling a house is stressful. It is not easy. There's a sales process. So when you are thinking about selling, you have to understand what the sales process is. First, you have to decide where you're going to move and how you're going to secure your financing. The second is how much of work can you do or want to do or have to do? Do you have to paint? Do you have to change the flooring? Do you have to trim the yard? Do you have to fix some things in the kitchen that are not working? Because this all takes preparation. Do you have to take staging and photography? As you know today, if you are thinking about selling your house, there's a good chance millennials are going to buy your house or youngsters are going to buy your house. And the first thing they do to see a house is they will go online and they look at the pictures of your house. They will look at the staging and the decor in the house and the colors. And if they don't like that, they'll even move on. As you know, they are always swiping on their phones. As soon as they don't like any wall or any decor, they're going to move on to the next house. So you have to understand the sales process. It takes preparation, updating. Also realize that the buyers will do a home inspection. And when they do a home inspection, and if your dishwasher is not working and you've said, hey, this dishwasher hasn't worked for 3 years and I've hand washed all my dishes, you may have to have it fixed when you are in escrow. So again, emotions check in. Say, I've used this dishwasher not working, haven't used it in 3 years. Why should I fix it? Well, you may have to fix it just to give the buyer the home. There's inspections, there's escrow closing, there's appraisal issues may come up. If you are in a homeowners association, there may be issues that come up in homeowners association that is required to be done. So you may have to do those things. So understanding all these little things or being prepared to understand these little things, inspections, appraisals, HOA regulations, property tax regulations, increased insurance regulations, it affects the buyer. So if all of this affects the buyer, they're not going to buy a house. So you have to understand this whole process so that it'll be a lot easier for you to sell and when you sell. Another very important issue when you sell your home is what are your tax implications and capital gains tax going to be. A lot of us have bought these homes, as I mentioned earlier. If somebody in California bought their home for, let's say, $250,000 20 years ago or 25 years ago, it's worth $1 million depending on the area where they are. So now if they sell that home and they have $750,000 worth of profit, there are tax complications. There could be tax implications. Luckily, there's a law out there, and of course check with your accountant, that you get no capital gains tax on your first $250,000, and if you have a spouse or if you're married, then you get a tax credit of up to $500,000. So if you have a gain of $750,000, you get credit on the first $500,000, but you still have to pay taxes on that $250,000. So there are tax implications. Check with your accountant or your realtor in your area how that works. But before you sell the homes, make sure you understand that, of course, there's commissions and there's escrow fees and title fees and home inspection fees and some of the repair fees and the update, all that cost that you lost from the sale of your home. But now you might have to pay taxes, and that those taxes could add up depending on your capital gains tax and how much your taxable income is. So please talk to your accountant or your realtor and be prepared so you know exactly how much you're gonna get from the sale of your house, not only after all the proceeds, but also after paying your taxes. One of the things I wanted to mention earlier, but I did not mention, is that when you sell a home, be prepared to declutter and deep clean your house. This is a very big issue because as we have lived in the house for 10, 20, 30 years, we've gathered a lot of things, a lot of gifts from people, we've bought a lot of things, and our house is generally speaking overall pretty much full of things in there. Decor or furniture or grandfather's clock or nice big chandeliers, which is great. We may have a lot of things in the kitchen, but when it comes time to selling, today's new buyers, they are buying space. They don't want a lot of stuff. They don't want clutter. So decluttering is very important in selling a home. And of course, depending on your health condition and how much you have, how much help you have, how good your health is, you may give yourself 2 months, 3 months, a year to declutter your rooms, your family room, your kitchen, your family room, because decluttering is a big issue. The less things you have in the house, the easier it'll be to sell the home. Remember, today's buyers buy from photography and videos, and the more cluttered your house is, the less attractive it's gonna be. So decluttering today is a big issue, and together with decluttering, I did not mention earlier, I mentioned about the paint and the upgrades, but one of the things that goes with decluttering is staging your house. Today, most of the homes have to be staged. So once you take out all the things you don't need in the house or all the things that gets in the way of the sale of your house, once that is done and once the house is deep clean, clean the windows, clean the flooring, clean the bathroom, make it really look nice, then we want to stage the home if it's needed. Doesn't mean that we're going to take out all your furniture and all your beds and put brand new stuff in there. We can use the things you have in the house and then accent it with some accessories, some decor, some modern things, some updated things to go with your new paint so that we can attract the young buyers who are trendy, the contemporary, and we may have older things. And the other thing you have to remember about decluttering is that today's kids or today's family, the younger guys and younger gals, don't want your stuff. So you may have emotional attachment to some things that you have. Like you may have an art piece that you bought 20 years ago and paid thousands and thousands of dollars, but the kids don't want it today. You may have a camera that you bought, a Nikon camera years ago, very expensive camera, and the kids don't want it today. So I did a video on that. I'll post it at the end of this video. It's called Decluttering and Nobody Wants Your Stuff. So be prepared. Going back to your emotions is that a lot of the things in the house that you don't want to give away, don't want to sell, or want to give it to your kids or your nephews or your siblings, they may not want it. A chandelier, for example, they may not want it. The drapes that you bought may be outdated and the kids don't want it. The sofa that you bought from Italy or a nice store may be outdated, they don't want it. So be prepared to let go of things that nobody wants, and that has to do with decluttering and cleaning up your house and staging your house. So all that fits in together along with your updates and some minor repairs, etc., to preparing a home. I sound like a broken record, but I'm implying that selling a home is not easy, especially for boomers, but I'm trying to give you some information so you're well prepared and makes your life easy in selling if you are prepared. The next thing I want to talk about is difficulty in navigating technology. Today, the buyers are influenced by social media, by influencers. They don't listen to us or their parents. They look at what's happening online in the social media, what the influencers are saying. So the way they think of buying and the way we thought of buying 10, 15, 20 years ago is totally different. Totally different. Some older homeowners mention feeling out of touch with modern home buying and selling practices, especially those related to online listings, digital staging, or managing offers via online platforms. So this lack of knowledge with technology adds a layer of difficulty in keeping up with the current market. I have sold in the last few years where the buyers did not even come to see the house. They bought it virtually. They saw online, they saw the videos. I went to the house, FaceTimed them all the rooms, each yard or family room, and they bought it virtually. This is how the market has changed. Who would have thought that people would buy $1 million home without even coming to the inside of the house? But that's technology today. When you sell a home and when you stage it, there's photography to be done, there's staging to be done, there's videos to be done, there is drone footage taken, videos via drone, documents are signed online. You don't even have to go to the office these days. You can sign it virtually via DocuSign or e-sign. So the whole technology has changed the way homes are sold today. Pretty much sometimes they're sold like cars. Amazing to say that you sell a house for $400, $500, $1 million and it's being treated as a commodity. No longer it's an emotional sale. So the technology has changed a lot of things. The marketing has changed a lot of things. Social media has changed a lot of things. A lot of the kids will listen to HGTV. If you watch any shows, those, in my opinion, are not really the reality show. They are made for entertainment. But when buyers come to buy these homes, they want your house to look like they saw on HGTV. The kids today listen to what their influencer is saying about the market, what TV is saying in the market, what the news reports say in the market. They believe the news and the media and the social media. They don't believe you and me. So we have to deal with that. Technology has been very nice to the sale of homes and the housing industry. It has also been an enemy today. So you have to understand how technology helps you in selling a home and buying a home, but you also have to understand how it is also a disadvantage. And hopefully by talking to a realtor, you can understand all that. From family dynamics and tax concerns to the stress of decluttering and navigating an unfamiliar technological landscape, these factors contribute significantly to the difficulty of making such a life-changing decisions. As I always say, to gain more, you sell smart. Please watch this video. It talks about decluttering your home and how nobody wants your stuff. And I thank you for watching. My name is Mike Patel from Anaheim Hills, California. Please watch my other videos as well.